Speaking of houses, the scam house, it's back on the market. It's back. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day. It's been several days since I've seen you guys and I'm so sorry about that. Things have been just kind of like a little different for a little while. I've been struggling just a little bit. So we're gonna get into all of that today, but I figured today we would just sit down and chit chat and get ready because it has been quite some time since I filmed anything and I get so super duper nervous to film stuff after it's been like a week. So I just need something to like ease my way back into filming things. We still have advent calendars. My goodness, I thought we would be done by now, but we are not. Also, I have ordered more. There's just like 2 more sitting over there. The Christmas tree is still up. At this point, I might just put some Easter eggs on it or something. I don't know. Some like shamrocks or something for St. Patrick's Day. That hasn't happened yet, right? When is St. Patrick's Day? St. Patrick's Day.
Sunday, March 17th, 2024.
Okay, I still have a couple of days, but the tree will be up for just a little while longer until we finish all of these daggone advent calendars. And then I need something to like stick in that corner because it's gonna look so empty back there when it's gone. Let me know what you guys think I should shove in that corner once the Christmas tree is actually finally gone. But anyway, today I have my coffee and my energy drink and I'm gonna try to stay awake and we're just gonna get ready together. It's gonna be nice. I do already have all my skincare and stuff on and I have been using this foundation. I got this in my Ipsies, all 3 of them, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to wear this. It's just way too deep for me. And it is a little too deep for me, but I've been wearing it anyway. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, so I don't have like questions or anything to answer this time. I'm probably just going to be doing some rambling about all the stuff that's been going on. There's a lot of health stuff with me and with Tater. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. So I figured we would just do a little like life catch up and yeah, that's it. Alright, so I had a little explanation as to why I've not been filming so much. I mentioned a couple of times in other videos and posts and things that I've been having really bad headaches, just kind of like everyday consistent headaches, and then I get these like really intense pains on the side of like the right side of my head that kind of start here in my temple and like radiate over my eyebrow and down my cheek and down my chin. Those don't happen as often as like kind of my daily headaches. The headaches vary with like, you know, pain and stuff. Sometimes they're just like a dull ache kind of all day long, and then sometimes they're pretty intense with like light sensitivity and all that kind of stuff. So when I went to my new doctor, that was one of the things that I was going to talk to him about was my headaches. So this is a brand new doctor. I've never been there before, so I filled out other paperwork and that kind of thing, and I went in and the nurse that took me in was like talking about all my stuff, and she was like, oh, okay, so I see you're here for anxiety. And I was like, I mean, sure, yeah, but I actually wanted to talk about like headaches and stuff, but when she said that, I was too nervous to be like, no, that's not why I'm here, because yes, I also have anxiety issues, but I was like, anxiety, yes. I actually came here for my daily headaches, but you know, maybe we'll bring that up with the doctor. So the doctor came in and we started talking and stuff. He was like assessing like how bad my anxiety is, like what it prevents me from doing, like all this kind of stuff. And I eventually was like, well, you know, it's not necessarily like social anxiety or anything, because I don't really leave the house that much, you know, but I just have kind of constant, you know, ever consuming anxiety all day long. And then I mentioned to him, I was like, yeah, well, you know, it prevents me from driving. He was like, you don't drive? I was like, no, I'm too scared. Then he was like, oh, that's kind of bad. And I was like, yeah, it's not great. So pretty much immediately after I said that, he instantly prescribed me with Lexapro. Right then, right there, he was like, Lexapro. So that was the first thing. He prescribed me with the Lexapro, and then we started talking about my ADHD, and he was like, well, we'll try to address the anxiety first, and then we will discuss the ADHD. So that was the first thing, and then I finally got the nerve up, I guess, to be like, okay, well, do you guys also do just like general health kind of stuff? Yes, but it probably is best to just talk about kind of one thing at a time, you know? So I was there for anxiety, apparently. I didn't write that down anywhere. They just assumed. Good guess. I was like, well, you know, maybe my anxiety is causing my really bad headaches. I've been having really bad headaches like every day. And then I told him about like, you know, the weird shooting pain that goes down the side of my face and stuff. And he was like, oh. So he said, okay, well, you know, maybe stress caused by anxiety could have something to do with headaches. But then he right there referred me to a neurologist, which I thought, you know, that was kind of nice. Like he was really on top of things. He was immediately like, Lexapro, neurologist, you know. fast. So in that one day, I got my anti-anxiety meds and I was referred to somebody to look at my brain. So I started taking my anxiety medication that day, and I really quickly got a call from the neurologist, and we scheduled an appointment like a week after or something to talk about what was going on with my head. So went to that appointment, the neurologist, everybody there at that office was so nice, like everybody. I was wearing this exact sweatshirt because I only have like 3 things I like to wear, and he said, Auburn, where's Auburn? I think he was from Nigeria, and I was like, I don't know the answer to that, to be fully honest. I don't know where this is. So we spent together like 10 minutes Googling Auburn on his computer during my neurology appointment, but he was so nice. Hello?
We'll call you when we get on the plane, okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
All right, so hello.
Okay, well, bye. My parents are leaving for Paris today. My mom's so excited. They're gonna get on the plane and head to Paris, and they're going to Switzerland. She's super excited, and I'm very excited for them. I think they're gonna have a great, wonderful time. But at the neurology appointment, we were talking about kind of 2 different things. So my chronic daily headaches, and then the stabbing pain in my temple. And I told them that the chronic daily headaches honestly were a bit more debilitating for me because I couldn't function when I was having like these daily headaches, especially if they were really bad. So we kind of like put this off for a little bit as we were talking. He basically said he thinks it's, I say it wrong every time. There's no, I don't even know how to say it right, to be honest. He said it right one time and I was like, that's fancy sounding. Trimeneurologia. I know that's not going to be right. Okay, I have such little idea of how to say or spell this that I typed into the Google Trimeneurologia, and the thing that came up is, what mythical creature eats souls? And that's not the same thing. Nerve issue or something in the side of my head. There's like a nerve that runs that exact path, like down your cheek and like above your eye and stuff. So he probably said I'm having an issue with a nerve on that side. But I don't think it's gonna cause anything like bad. But he said that he wanted to like check and make sure and see that there's nothing wrong with this side of my head. Structures aren't, you know, shaped weird. What did he say? That there wasn't anything like structurally in there that could be causing like a nerve to be pinched or something like that. So he scheduled me for an MRI, and then he also prescribed me with a daily headache medicine to prevent my daily headaches, and also one to take like if I have a really bad migraine coming on, because he said what was happening was I was having pretty like, standard common migraine symptoms. So he prescribed me with a pill to take in case one's coming on. It's really bad. So I mentioned to him that I was just prescribed Lexapro, and like I just wanted to double check that, you know, I could take Lexapro and this headache medicine together, and he said yes, actually the reason I picked this one for you is because it also is an anti-anxiety medicine, or used for like anti-anxiety, but it's also a headache medicine. So within like a week's time, I got Lexapro, this headache medicine that's also another anti-anxiety medicine, and I got scheduled for a brain MRI. So I had been in for the brain MRI. It was like $669 to take pictures of my head. Like, it was so expensive. And he even told me before I went in for it, he was like, honestly, we really don't usually find much on these, but you know, we still want you to pay nearly $700 to go get your brain scanned. So that was my first MRI ever. It was very loud, but they gave me little like earbuddy things to put in and stuff, and I think I even dozed off for a minute while I was in there, because you know, one second I was in there and the next minute she was like, I'm gonna pull you out, and she yanked me out of the thing. I was like, oh, okay. To be fully honest, I hope my MRI came back okay, like okie dokie and clean and stuff, because I never heard anything back from them. So I'm assuming no news is good news, you know, in the medical field. But like, what if somebody just forgot to tell you the news? You know what I mean? What if there was like something and they're like, oh man, we gotta call that girl and let her know there's something, and then they just forgot? I feel like that's had to happen before, you know? So with all that to say, I have been taking Lexapro and a daily headache / anti-anxiety medicine every day for a little while now, and I don't know how well it's going. I feel less physical anxiety. So usually when I have anxiety, which is typically constantly, I have this like racing feeling in my chest, like I'm constantly about to go over the big drop of the roller coaster, or I'll get like really hot and flushed, or like even shaky, that kind of thing. I feel like I'm feeling less physical symptoms. That's the first thing I noticed, that like racing feeling like really diminished, and it's kind of almost-ish gone now, which that's lovely. I am still anxious and stuff, of course. I am still pretty new to the medication and things, but like apart from what it's doing for my anxiety, I think it's I don't really know what's going on. I've been extremely tired. Beyond any other tiredness, lethargy I've ever felt. I'm so lethargic. I'm so tired. All I want to do is sleep. I feel like I haven't really been able to get things done. My motivation is like crashed and burned. And I feel so bad. Like, I know I need to make videos. I know I need to work in the store. I know I need to, you know, do ordering for the store and clean the house. My husband's birthday is tomorrow. Like, I have to put a party together, like all these kind of things. I have just zero drive and motivation right now. I feel like I'm in a fog. My brain is just, it's elsewhere. And I feel like it's the Lexapro. It just like really, it's just draining me. I feel drained. I've not been taking it for too terribly long, and I've heard like 6 to 8 weeks is when it really starts to enter your system and like, you know, you see big differences and stuff. So I still have, you know, a little bit to go before that, but I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. So I'm really hoping that it gets better soon, because I'm not loving this feeling. I just feel so incredibly unmotivated, and like literally all I want to do is sleep. And that's kind of what I have been doing. I've just been sleeping. Like, any chance I can get to sleep, that's what I've been doing, is sleeping. I'm already like a really forgetful person. I can't remember anything, but I feel like I've been extra forgetful, and just my brain, it's just foggy. It's just foggy up there. It's like the Mist movie, or The Fog even. I think those are both horror films, but that could be accurate. I feel less anxious, but I feel useless. I feel like a useless human being at this moment, so that's not awesome. So I'm gonna be talking to my doctor about that. I gotta paint my neck the same color as my face. But if any of you guys have like tried Lexapro, been on Lexapro, currently on Lexapro, and you feel like, you know, comfortable sharing this information, let me know. Did anybody else like feel like this? Just fully exhausted and just unmotivated, and you just feel useless. Like, has anybody else felt that way? Because that's all I'm feeling right now. So anyway, long story short, I feel like that's kind of why I've just not been really posting lately. It's just hit me within this past like couple weeks, like how incredibly exhausted I am and like how unmotivated I am. So it's been a while that I've filmed anything. I'm so sorry for that, but I really just wanted to sit down and talk with you guys today. The next person we're going to be talking about is this little fella over here. You know, this human person right here. Poor little guy. He's just always going through something. Since we last talked and I gave you guys an update on his seizures, he has had another seizure episode. He had 3 seizures within 24 hours. Fortunately, it wasn't 5 or more, so we didn't have to take him to the emergency vet or anything. So that was a little bit more than we had gotten used to. Usually with his seizure incidents now, he's having like 1 every time he has a seizure, but this time it was a cluster. But he's doing okay with that. He is doing okay. Unfortunately, he's had several other issues as well. His skin, his allergies are absolutely out of control right now, and we just don't know what to do. I recently ordered him a very expensive dog food from Hills. It's a hydrolyzed protein dog food. So dogs that have allergies, apparently protein is one of like the main causes of them in a lot of cases. So this food, the protein's broken down so small in it, like the body doesn't recognize it, but they're still getting I don't know, it's science. I guess that's why it's like $65 for 12 cans of dog food and $65 for like a bag of dog food, because of the science. So we were trying that for him because he was literally like scratching his skin off. Like, he would not stop. He was making himself bleed, like little red bumps be popping up all over him. Tried that dog food. I switched all of our laundry detergents and stuff to like unscented and clean laundry detergents. I've not been lighting candles or spraying perfumes around him. Like, we've been trying everything to see if there's like an environmental allergy, a food allergy, anything we can think of. We just got him allergy tested. We're still waiting for those results to come back. It was a blood test, so I don't know how super accurate it's gonna be. It was a nearly, what was it, like $300 blood test, so I would hope there'd be some accuracy to it, but from what I've seen online, the blood tests aren't crazy accurate. However, if it comes back like inconclusive or whatever, we're gonna do the skin test, because he is just suffering and struggling, and we gotta figure something out. I heard him yelp the other day in the bedroom, and I kind of assume Rin like just bit him just a little bit, just a little love nip. They don't always get along fantastically, and Rin has nipped at him a few times. So I just kind of assumed that Tater was like up in his face and Rin nipped him, but I looked all over, and typically if Rin nips him, it's usually like his lip, because Tater's face, his like whole face is inside Rin's mouth on purpose. Tater is the one pushing his face into Rin's mouth, and then Rin will bite him. But I didn't see any like little red spots on his face or skin anywhere, or like drool anywhere. So I was like, oh, I don't know where he bit him, if he bit him. And then we took him to my parents' house so Jeremy could celebrate his birthday with his family in Somerset. And while he was there, my parents said that he was just chewing on his paws like crazy. Like he would not stop chewing on his paws, which we had noticed he had been doing a lot of paw licking too. And then when we got back into town and went to pick them up from my parents' house, Tater like took off into the TV room to go get his toys, and we could hear him yelp and then start like whining. He was like crying from the other room, so we ran in there. We couldn't find him. He was like down behind the table and we couldn't see him, but we found him, and then he came out and he was like limping on his paw. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. Like we gotta call the vet. We're gonna make an appointment in the morning. So that next morning when we woke up, he had been, I guess, chewing his paws in the night, and there was like blood on the bed from him chewing at his paws, and one of his paws looked swollen. So I called the vet immediately, made an appointment for that day. Turns out they think that he has somehow broken a toe. And I'm assuming when I heard him yelp that one day in the bedroom, I'm guessing maybe he jumped off the bed wrong or did something and hurt his toe. So unfortunately, we think he has a broken toe. There's not really much they can do for that. They gave us some anti-inflammatory, and like basically they said, you know, keep him calm, which, you know, usually is not the case with Tater. He's snoozing right now, but like keeping him calm and rested and not running around and stuff is very, very difficult. But they also said that his paws were infected. He had been like chewing at his paw pads, and they're infected on the bottoms from him constantly licking and chewing because of his allergies, whatever it is that he's allergic to. So he has a broken toe, and his little paws are all chewed up, and the only thing, they didn't give him a cone or anything like that to prevent him from chewing further. So I dug out his old cone from when he was a baby, but it's missing pieces, and it also is like really irritating to his neck. So I think I'm gonna order like a foamy kind of cone so it doesn't rub his skin, because his skin's so thin, and if like anything touches it, it irritates it because it's not covered in fur. He's a bald baby. This is a bald baby due to his coloration and his allergies. We just try to do everything we can to like make him comfortable and help him, and I'm really hoping one day we can find, you know, whatever the cause of his skin problems are, and then address those and fix those, and he can live a non-itchy life, because I'm sure that's so frustrating. We have him wearing a little like sweater all the time now, because if not, he will literally like dig through his skin scratching at it. So he gets specialized baths. He has like a medicated shampoo that sits in his skin for 10 minutes, and then I do like an oatmeal bath for him, where like, you know, use just like actual oats and rub that into his skin, rinse it out. And then he has a treated spray and like calming wipes and stuff, and it just seems like no matter how many things we use to try to like address his symptoms, like the scratching, the itchiness, the flaky skin, I mean his skin is just, it like peels off. So I take a natural bristle brush and I like gently try to help loosen that itchy loose skin for him so he doesn't scratch as much. But like no matter how much we do to address the symptoms, it doesn't seem to really help that much. So if we find the cause, what's causing it, and we can address that, hopefully that'll, you know, help prevent him being so itchy and having so many skin issues. Oh, I feel so bad. He's almost fully bald on like one side over here, and you can just see through his little hairs. I just wish he knew a life that like wasn't itchy and like full of seizures. I don't think we'll ever be able to stop his seizures fully, but hopefully the skin stuff, hopefully we can get to the bottom of that, and I feel like that would just make his everyday life be better. That would give him just a better quality of life if he wasn't constantly itchy. Oh, I think I also broke the top of my foot. The other day in a video, I mentioned to you guys that I fell and like crunched my foot. That happened like a couple of weeks ago, and it's still not better. It's still quite painful, and it's bruised on the top, and like my ankle and my foot kind of swell whenever I stand on it. So I'm wondering if maybe I broke just a couple little bones maybe in like the top of my foot, which I don't really know if there's much you can do for that anyway. But all of my family is like, oh, please go get an x-ray just to check it out. You never know what's going on. Like, please go get an x-rayed. So I might do that just to see what's going on. I figure the worst that'll happen is maybe they'll give me like a little brace or something like that. I did it in like the dumbest way too. I was setting crisscross applesauce because this is the only, I'm setting like that right now and it's hurting my foot because I'm putting pressure on it, but it's the only way I know how to set. They trained us in kindergarten and preschool and stuff to set this way, and now like I have muscle memory, like my bones, my body, my muscles will only set crisscross applesauce. I'm crooked because of it, literally crooked. Anywho, I was sitting in my desk chair, crisscross applesauce as always, and I got up to go to the kitchen and my leg was fully asleep. And I didn't realize that I had 0% feeling in my leg, like no percent feeling. So I started like walking to this kitchen, and by the time this leg like came forward, I realized I had no idea, no control over my body. I was wearing like fuzzy socks and they grabbed my shaggy like rug that I have and my foot bent backwards like this, and then I fell with my foot bent the opposite direction it was supposed to bend. And when I tell you the crunch that came out of my foot, oh, because my leg was so asleep, I couldn't feel like the pain immediately, but the crunch of my foot, my full body weight falling on my bent backwards foot. The sound. Jeremy was still in bed, so I screamed for him. I was like, Jeremy, Jeremy, because I couldn't get off the floor, and he came running in there and I was still on the floor. He's like, oh my God, what happened? And I was like, I'm gonna throw up. And it wasn't again from the pain, my leg was still so asleep. It was from the sound. It was so but he got me up and stuff, and my foot did swell then and things, but I figured like maybe I just twisted my ankle or something. But it's been so long at this point that I'm like, maybe I did snap, crackle, pop a couple just little pieces of the top of my foot, maybe. Sorry this video has just been all health stuff, but that's pretty much all that's been going on with me is health stuff, me and Tater. So yeah, that's about what's been going on with me. We did go see another house yesterday, and honestly you guys, I'm a little bit sad about this one because when the listing popped up I was like, yes, this might be the one, because I have seen this house my entire life. I have driven past this house, well, not me personally, I have ridden past this house so many times. Like to the point my mom, when I told her, oh mom, this house just came on the market. You know that yellow house on the corner? And she was like, yeah, I know precisely what house you're talking about. That was it. No other descriptors, no location, nothing. I was like, yellow house on the corner, yes. Well, it's up for sale and it's like halfway reasonable price and it looks almost finished. Definitely some cosmetic stuff that I personally would like to do to it, but it wasn't missing walls and electricity, which that's new for us. So I sent it to Jeremy and he instantly said, oh, what did he say? It was a quite excited response. He said, yo, that's awesome. Let's go look at it. So this house, like from the listing, the pictures look really nice. There's some character, some interest to it. There's an exposed staircase and like a cute little kind of sunroomy area, a breakfast nook, a nook for the breakfast, 4 bedrooms, a 2-car garage, a fenced in backyard, and I was like, oh my goodness, maybe this could be the one. And it was how much was it? $298,900, which is like $133 a square foot, which technically could be like a little expensive, but not really for what the market has been like recently. So I thought that was an actual reasonable price for a finished house. Pretty much no like real work had to be done to it. I mean, we were looking at like $200,000, $300,000, sometimes $400,000 homes that needed a ton of work. So just by the listing, I was like, this could be really promising. So I got in contact with a realtor and we kept trying to like set up times, but all the time slots kept being filled. So we're like, oh my goodness, a lot of people are really interested in this house, and they are. Like there's a lot of people. Almost all the tour times were filled up. So we finally got a time to go look at it, and we pulled up and I was like, this is really cute. I was a little bit worried about how busy the road is around it, but still, like the house was so cute. There's some big trees. The landscaping was adorable. We got there a little bit earlier than the realtor and we kind of took a look around outside. The landscaping, so cute. There's a little back deck. Outside of the house, it is like kind of a pale yellow. I'm not a pale yellow kind of person, so I think I would have painted it, but it had adorable little shutters, and the fence that was all the way around the house was so nice. This maybe could be the one. But as soon as we walked in, we were pretty much like, no. No. It was pretty walking in, but I noticed the exposed staircase. Like as soon as we walked in, the staircase was over to the side and I could just tell like the distance between the landing and the ceiling. Like Jeremy wasn't gonna fit. He wasn't gonna fit. He's 6'3". This house was built in 1914. It wasn't built for a 6'3" person, and that was fairly obvious. So like going up the stairs, he kind of had to do this, but coming down the stairs, he had to like fully like dunk. And even I tried it and it kind of skimmed the top of my head and then it hit my bun. Like my bun went bonk, like going down the stairs. So unfortunately, he wasn't going to be able to fit. And then like furthermore, we went to like the kitchen. There's a bathroom off the kitchen and that ceiling was this low. It might have been a little under 6 feet tall, but it was very, very low, and that's like how you got to the downstairs bathroom. So you had to go in this little hallway to the bathroom, which had a regular height ceiling, but for some reason that was super low. So we pretty much knew right off the bat, not our house, not the house for us. I'm not gonna have Jeremy like dunking down every time he has to go up or down the stairs. The realtor was really nice and we just kind of roamed around and looked anyway. It's a very, very cute house and I don't think it will stay on the market too long, but it's a really nice house. It's just, it's not ours. So our house hunt continues. Speaking of houses, the scam house, it's back on the market. It's back. They just listed it again for the same price that we were going to pay for it. So it was $450. We got them down to $430 because, you know, the basement wall was collapsing in. Then we found out they were lying by the square footage by like 500 square feet. And then we pulled out of it and then the house got hit by a truck and then it was taken off the market for a while. But it's back on the market. My dad and I are still pretty convinced the square footage is a little bit off. And they're counting the unfinished basement in the square footage and calling it a finished basement. Is this a finished basement to you guys? Like is this, I don't know if it's just me, but like painting the concrete of your basement, to me personally, doesn't make it a finished basement. This is just paint. It's actually probably dry locked to prevent like the water coming in. I wonder on the seller's disclosure if they're gonna have like recently hit by truck as like a line disclosure. They did patch up the brick finally. It sat like that for so long. Like since I told you guys the first time when it was hit by the truck months ago, I don't even know how long ago that was at this point. They finally like just now patched it back up. But just to whoever gets the house, I hope you love it because I think it's a beautiful like property. I love the property. The house is really pretty, that kind of stuff. There's a ton of room, maybe a little less than advertised, but a good amount of room. And it would be, I'm sure, a lovely house. We just had so many issues with it. It was a little on the sketchy side. So, you know, just good luck, and I hope you love the house, and I hope you have 0% issues. I'm sorry I did literally basically no makeup. This is just what I do pretty much every single day when I'm getting ready. I needed just to jump back into it. I haven't really put on makeup in quite some time, and again, I haven't filmed in quite some time, so this is just me dipping my toes back into the water. I might even try to quickly edit this today and post it so I can actually have something for today and then come back and film some more videos to post for you guys, you know, throughout the weekend and the week. So this video does go up today, which is Friday the 8th. It might not have a whole bunch of edits and stuff in it, but I want to just get something out to you guys, and it's been too long. That's about all I have for you guys today. I'm just gonna finish up my mascara here real fast. I might just throw on a little, ooh, that is very separated. This is a very, very old Fenty liquid lipstick and it's super separated, but I really like the color, so I'm gonna do it anyway. A lot of foundation on my lips the entire time. I bet that looks good. Oh, my crochet, I forgot about that. Okay, so I have to say that since I've started taking this Lexapro and it's been kind of affecting me, not fantastically, I don't really do much of anything anymore, including crochet. So it has been some time since I actually picked it up, but I'm making a blanket right now, and I've made my first couple little crochet guys. These were a few weeks ago. I'll go get them. Hold on. Okay, I just got everything. So this is the, it's kind of a mess right now. This is the blanket that I'm currently working on. It's just one massive granny square. I just made a granny square and just kept going, and that's just what I intend to do until it's finished. So I haven't finished off this round yet, but this has taken so much more yarn than I ever anticipated. I'm on my third like giant ball of this right here. color. This is gonna take a million yards of yarn to make it like blanket size like I want it to be, but yeah, this is my first blanket. I'm just now noticing that the yarns are slightly different colors. They're supposed to be the same exact color. I got the same exact yarn, but one looks lighter than the other. No. And then since I made 500 million billion little granny squares, I needed something to do with them, and I didn't want to make them into a blanket because I've been making them all different colors, out of all different yarns, all different thicknesses of yarns, just squares. This one's not finished yet, but I've been adding little tassels to them and adding a little like handmade leather piece and calling them mug rugs and putting them in my store. I don't think anyone's ever bought one, and I don't think anybody probably ever will, but that's okay. I just need an excuse to make squares, and I need something to do with them. And then I made this little fella. This was my first attempt at an octopus. He is empty. There's nothing inside of there. I didn't know how to make him a bottom, but yeah, there he is. He's very wonky. And then I try to get, well, I say first attempt. I've tried 1,000 times. These are the only ones that actually kind of came out right. And then here's this little fella. This one I actually stuffed, and he has a bottom, but he's definitely still very wonky. People who can just make these like practically in their sleep. This was supposed to be a 10-minute tutorial. This probably took me collectively, I don't know, 30 hours. Between all the ones that didn't work out and then me just trying to like, look at this, he's got a hole in him. I don't know how to fix that. He's still not good, but he's, you know, my first one that's kind of complete almost. Anywho, that's how crochet is going right now. It kind of isn't going because I've lost all interest in things, but once I start picking it back up again, hopefully I'll be making some more stuff and I'll finish my blanket and make like an actual octopus, like, you know how the tutorial says, and not just me just shoving pieces of yarn together. Alright you guys, well I guess I'll have you all today. Thank you for sitting with me through this rambling video. I hope you guys were also either getting ready or just having a snack or having me on in the background while you're cooking up a meal or something. It was really nice hanging out with you today and getting to see you guys after all of these days, and I typically don't know if I'm ever going to post these videos, but I am going to try my best to post this one today. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this posted, and I'll be filming some more videos, and I'll see you guys again soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please go ahead and consider subscribing if you would not mind. It would mean an absolute world to me and Rin and Tater, and I just hope you guys have a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!